Bitter criticism, a long edition, because I had a problem of schedule. I was too early for my next dog. I'm too early for my dog from the 6th, and that's why I'm doing this show, just to killing time. Bitter criticism for killing time. What about that? And there we have the I know there's no sun on the camera, and that's it. I'm going to read something from Russia Today as usual. I will start with Russia Today. Russia Today right till the end. Russian military challenges Kiev's claim about airfield strike. Since a long ago, I'm not reading nothing from the conflict, but here we go. July 7, 2024. Russian military challenges Kiev's claims about airfield strike. Ukrainian Air Force commander has claimed that Moscow struck dummies instead of military hardware in this week's attacks. I guess the view is nice, but the sun is not so nice. That was Rupertina. Ukrainian Air Force commander has claimed that Moscow struck dummies instead of military hardware in this week's attacks. Kiev's claims about this week's Russian strike on a Ukrainian airfield missing its target do not hold water. Telegram channels linked to the military said on Sunday, posting new video footage. From the scene. Earlier, Ukrainian Air Force Commander Lieutenant General Nikolai Oleshuk had claimed that Moscow's forces had only struck deceptive decoys in its latest series of missile strikes. Footage that appeared on the Russian Iznanka Telegram channel purports to show the moments after the Iskander missile strike on Dolgintsovo airfield, located some 10 kilometers east of Kryvyi Rog City in Ukraine's central Dnepropetrovsk region. The Russian Defense Ministry reported hitting the location on June 3rd. The clip shows debris burning at the blast site, with aircraft fuel starting to spill. Footage then demonstrates a powerful blast of the aircraft armament stored nearby. A relatively small fire that can be seen on the video then develops into a major blaze, which thick gray smoke billowing into the air. The location shown in the clips appears to match the one demonstrated in a Defense Ministry video released earlier this week. At that time, the Russian military stated that Ukrainian military aircraft weapons stored nearby and several service vehicles used by the airfield. You know, I know that the sun is right in the front, but I was uncomfortable in that position, and the sound is better is better like that. At that time, the Russian military stated that a Ukrainian military aircraft, weapons stored nearby, and several service vehicles used by the airfield staff had all been destroyed by the strike. Earlier, the ministry also reported Iskander strikes on 2 Ukrainian airfields in Poltava region. One of them damaged 7 Su-27 fighter jets, while the second one destroyed a Mi-24 attack helicopter and other equipment. According to Moscow, the ministry also released similar videos showing those strikes. Kiev initially did not comment on the developments. On Saturday, Oleshchuk broke the silence by claiming that the Ukrainian Air Force had successfully conducted passive defense measures, including at the Dolginsovo airfield, and thanked those who provided the nation's military with quality models of aircraft and air defense systems. The Ukrainian media then claimed that the targets struck by the Russians missiles in the latest attacks were mere deceptive decoys. The Russian Defense Ministry has not officially commented on those claims. Telegram channels linked to the Russian military denounced those claims as infinite lies. I didn't got perfectly what happened. It was a Russian attack, I guess. If I misunderstood, I'm not sure. In early July, the ministry reported that the nation's military had destroyed 9 fighter jets operated by the Ukrainian Air Force in a single day. 7 of them were hit at Ukraine's Mirgorod airfield in Poltava region. 2 more were shot down by Russian air defenses. Forbes military observer David Axe then called the Mirgorod strike one of the costliest single days of the battered Ukrainian air arm since the start of the hostilities in February 2022. And we have another one from Russia Today. July 7, 2024. Home World News. Le Pen's party to fall short of a historic milestone, French election exit polls. The left-wing New Popular Front, NFP, appears to have come out on top, but only by a small margin in the landmark contest. France faces a hung legislature with no party set to win an outright majority in the second round of the parliamentary election, local media reported on Sunday, citing the first preliminary estimates provided by the Ipsos talent polling agency. The right-wing National Rally Party, NRN, linked to Marine Le Pen, which emerged as the front-runner last weekend with 37 seats, is forecast to finish third this time, with between 132 to 152 seats. The New Popular Front, NFP, is likely to fail to secure an absolute majority in the legislature, as it is expected to win between 172 and 192 seats in the second round. According to the estimates It had previously secured 32 mandates in the 577 strong National Assembly in the first round last weekend. The left-wing coalition is closely followed by President Emmanuel Macron's Liberal Assembly coalition, which is reportedly expected to land between 150 to 170 seats in the second round. The turnout this weekend is estimated to have been 67.1% according to Ipsos Talent, which will be the highest since 1997, it confirmed. Macron will not address the nation on Sunday following the vote, the Élysée Palace said. The president will analyze the election results before making any further step, his office said, adding that he will wait for the new parliament to be formed to take the necessary decisions. The head of state will respect the choice of the French people, the statement added. Prime Minister Gabriel Attal announced in the wake of the exit poll results that he will submit his resignation on Tuesday. So this I thought it was nobody coming, but because it's a very nobody walks here actually. Prime Minister Gabriel Attal announced in the wake of the exit poll results that he will submit his resignation on Tuesday. He was re-elected in his constituency and will now join the National Assembly as a MP. I don't know what MP is. According to French media, Attal also stated he will never accept the fact that millions of people in France voted for those he called radicals. He also remarked that the strength of our values had prevented radical forces from getting an absolute majority in the legislature. Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the head of the French Unbowed Party, which is a member of the NFP, called on Macron to accept defeat and to let the left-wing coalition from the new government. We have achieved a result that we were told was impossible, he said, adding that the president must call on the new Popular Front to govern. Rally National leader Jordan Bardella lauded the most important breakthrough in the entire history of his party. He still blamed that he called an alliance of dishonor between Macron's party and the left-wing coalition for preventing a Rally National victory, apparently referring to their tactical withdrawals ahead of the second round. The party's veteran politician and its former leader, Marine Le Pen, said she had too much experience to be disappointed by a result where we doubled the number of our MPs. She also stated that Rally National's ultimate victory is only delayed. Macron called early parliamentary elections in the wake of the Rally National's strong performance in the European Parliament elections in early June. Members of the National Assembly are elected in single-seat constituencies through direct voting in 2 rounds. A candidate can win outright in the first round if they get over half of the vote. What a noisy motorcycle back in this. Far on the street, there's a noisy, terrible motorcycle. Terrible noisy. You know, I'm not wokeist, but I guess to destroy these noisy cars, you know, just destroy these noisy trucks, cars, motorcycles is something people should do because they are too noisy, you know, noisy motors, terrible. What the hell is this noise? Macron called early parliamentary elections in the wake of the Rally National's strong performance in the European Parliament elections in early June. Members of the National Assembly are elected in single-seat constituencies through direct voting in 2 rounds. A candidate can win outright in the first round if they get over half of the vote. If none achieves this feat, any candidate reaching the 12.5% threshold enters the second round. Ahead of this weekend's vote, Macron's Renaissance Party and the NFP resorted to what the media call tactical withdrawals. As many as 200 candidates from the president's party and the left-wing coalition withdrew from the second round to avoid splitting the vote between them and to prevent the Rally National Party from getting an absolute majority, 289 seats in the parliament. And we have the very last one from Russia Today. We have this advancement from best photo at stain contest, which is also unbearable. I'm sorry, but it's terrible. I hate when developers, when web designers just put things on your face, you know, you don't want to see this advertisement, but they insist. It's terrible. Anyway, July 7, 2024, BRICS to launch independent financial system, Moscow. Introduction of a new single currency is also on the table, Russia's envoy to Beijing says. Countries of the BRICS economic bloc are currently working on the launch of a financial system that will be independent of the dominance of third parties, according to the Russian ambassador to China, Igor Borgulov. The volume of Russia's transactions in national currencies will follow BRICS nations in constantly growing, the envoy said on Saturday in Beijing. Speaking at the 12th World Peace Forum, WPF, Morgulov highlighted the Russia-China trade turnover had reached $240 billion, and that the 92% of settlements were being conducted in rubles and yuans. Quote, "We are leaving the dollar-dominated space and developing the mechanism and tools for a truly independent financial system," the ambassador said, as cited by RIA Novosti. Morgulov also said that introducing a new single currency is still some way off, but stressed that the group, which recently expanded and now comprises Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Ethiopia, Iran, and Egypt, is moving in this direction. Last month, Russia's Deputy Finance Minister, Ivan Chebeskov, told media that Russia was working on creating a settlement and payment infrastructure together with BRICS member states, central banks. The senior state official specified that the economic bloc was working on launching the BRICS Bridge platform for settlements in national currencies. In addition, Russian Finance Minister Anton Silvanov told Russian daily Vedomosti that BRICS bridge could provide member states an opportunity to take settlements using digital assets of central banks linked to national currencies. Russia has been promoting its own domestic payment system as a reliable alternative to SWIFT, after many of the country's financial institutions were cut off from the Western financial network in 2022. The Russian SPFS interbank messaging system ensures the secure transfer of financial messages between banks both inside and outside the country. Moscow has also accelerated efforts to move away from SWIFT by trading with international partners using their respective national currencies. The trend has been increasingly supported by members of the BRICS group, which have shifted from using the dollar and euro for trade settlements. The share of national currencies in Russia's settlements with BRICS currencies jumped to 85% at the end of 2023, up from 26% 2 years ago. I guess that happened because of the sanctions, of course. But yeah, it's nice that, I guess, is the tendency, that will happen. That will be the hard tendency that is inevitable. So now it's time for Cgtn. Cgtn news. Experts. His speech at SCO Summit helps promote world peace, equality, and no double standards. Urged on human rights issues. Yeah, I guess that's the better news from. And then it says something about the French elections. I guess I'm going to read this one. So it says like this. There's no space to turn the cell phone. Maybe this way. Oh, I'm not using the app, but I guess I'm using the app. I searched for Cgtn. I searched for Cgtn site, but I guess I am on the Cgtn platform. Politics. July 7, 2024. Equality and no double standards urged on human rights issues. Cgtn. The sun is so hard. As I always said, I put some filter on my face, but it's even worse than that. You have to have you have to avoid the sun in Chile. Equality and no double standards urged on human rights issues. A side event themed global inequality and its adverse impacts on human rights is held during the 56th session in the United Nations Human Rights Human Rights. Experts on Friday stressed the importance of equality and no double standards on human rights issues. Speaking at a side event during the 56th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva, Switzerland, Sang Yongyi, head of the Chongqing Center for Equal Social Development, highlighted the issue of inequality in concepts. In recent years, inequality through discrimination and hostility can be seen everywhere, said Shang. Based on prejudice and imagination, for instance, some politicians, media, and even so-called scholars tend to label the countries or nations with stigma, he said. And China is one of the biggest victims. Shang said there have been even supply chains from content production and concept shaping to rule exporting in the building of an order of inequality, with each link reinforcing the others. All this should be changed, he said. We need fairer rules and should abandon double standards. The side event hosted by Chongqing Center for Equal Social Development and the Palais des Nations in Geneva was themed global inequality and its adverse impacts on human rights. Hernando Calvo Ospina, a journalist for Le Monde Diplomatique, a French newspaper, expressed his concerns about the monopoly and manipulation of information by mainstream media in the United States and the West. He accused them of being the mouthpiece of their governments. They selectively ignore human rights issues in the US and Western countries, and at the same time exaggerate facts and fabricate lies to make the public believe that sanctions and aggression against certain countries are justified, he said. A grain of sand can be rendered into a beach of lies. David Lopez, the International Association of Human Rights and Social Development's permanent representative to the UN, noted that the North Atlantic Treaty Alliance, NATO, carried out several military interventions without the authorization of the UN. This violated the UN Charter and caused regional turmoil and humanitarian disasters in Yugoslavia, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria, and other places, said Lopez. He accused the US and the European Union of using NATO to maintain global hegemony, saying they are obviously showing double standards. Lopez called for the need to build a new international order based on mutual respect and equality and ensure the fair application of international law in order to achieve true peace and justice. So yeah, I'm using the Cgtn app. Look, do you saw that? And well, let's see what's going on in China. That's why I read Cgtn. Too much about Gaza. I guess capitalism will always support Israel. I'm not sure if this is this looks like an article. Looks. China, July 7, graphics. China's open globally competitive innovation ecosystem. Cgtn, the third plenary session of the 2020 Communist Party of China Central Committee, scheduled to be held in Beijing from July 15 to July 18, will focus on issues related to further comprehensively deepening reform and advocate and advancing Chinese modernization. Over the past decade of China's innovation-driven development strategy, the country has built an open and globally competitive innovation ecosystem. China has established cooperation relationships with over 160 countries and regions. We have a huge graph here. A huge graph. For example, by November 2023, China was home of the 9 transnational technology transfer centers. 1,000 China and Belt and Road Initiative partners had collaborated on over 1,000 research projects. So it's a pretty huge graphic. Look, it's a pretty It was a pretty huge graphic. China's innovation capability has steadily improved over the past decade, with its ranking the Global Innovation Index jumping from 29 in 2014 to 12 in 2023. It is the only middle-income economy among the top 30. I didn't got this. China's innovation capability has steadily improved over the past decade, with its ranking in the Global Innovation Index jumping from 29 in 2014 to 12 in 2023. Innovation, yeah. It is the only middle-income economy among the top 30. China had 3 of the world's top 5 science and technology clusters in 2023, namely the Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Guangzhou, Beijing, and Shanghai Suzhou clusters. The country was also home of 24 of the world's top 100 science and technology clusters. China has signed intergovernmental science and technology cooperation agreements with more than 80 Belt and Road Initiative BRI partners and collaborated with Belt and Road Initiative partners on over 1,000 research projects. The country has set up 20 agricultural technology demonstration centers in Belt and Road Initiative partner countries. It has set up 53 Belt and Road Initiative collaboratories in agriculture, new energy, nature and health, and 70 overseas industrial parks in Belt and Road Initiative partner countries. And then I have a news about the economy. Look. The time is not flying. The time is delaying too much. The dogs are happy, I guess, but I'm tired. I'm tired. I guess the time is delaying too much. Anyway, China's foreign exchange. China's foreign exchange reserves total 3.2224 trillion. 3 trillion, more than 3 trillions. China's foreign exchange reserves total 3 trillions, which is a lot. Chinese trillion dollars. Chinese economy, July 7, 2024. China's foreign exchange reserves stood at 3 trillions at the end of June 2024. Official data showed Sunday. The amount shrank by 0.3% compared with the previous months. The State Administration of Foreign Exchange, SAFE, said attributing the decrease of the combined impact of currency translation and asset price changes. affected by various factors such as major economies, monetary policies, market expectations, and macroeconomic data. The US dollar index and global financial asset prices climbed in June. The SAFE explained it. The SAFE explained it. The Chinese economy has sustained its recovery momentum and continued its high-quality development, which is conducive to maintaining the stable scale of the country's foreign exchange reserves, the regulator said. According to data released Sunday by the People's Bank of China, the country's gold reserves remained unchanged in June at $72.8 million. Ounces, remained unchanged in June at 72.88 million ounces of gold. We have a photograph of gold ounces here, equivalent to about $169.7 billion. The source is Xinhua News source. You know, I just remember to check two things. First, Bradley Blankenship sometimes publish in Cgtn. Maybe he published this time too. But who knows? I don't know where to search. I don't know where to search right here. There's no way, and there's no place for search for news. Oh, there's no place. So the site is not perfect. Yeah. Well, I'm going to Pepe Escobar Telegram. 17 news, 17 posts. That's Pepe always posting. I started my own Telegram, but I forgot to post whatever I found on YouTube. We have a news from ZeroEdge.com. Political major donors cut Biden prepare packs. Found mini primary and new candidate. What? This is a great news actually. Zero Edge. Mega donors cut off Biden prepare pacts to found mini primary and new candidate. Look. So Biden is not going to be president anymore. There's a lot of people on these stairs, you know. I thought there will be nobody, but by now there have been 5 people in total. Mega donors cut off Biden. Prepare packs to found mini primary and new candidate. By Tyler Durden. On Saturday, a 5th Democratic member of Congress called for embattlement. The truth is, there's a lot of people walking their dogs, just like me, just like myself. But anyway, on Saturday, a 5th Democratic member of Congress called for embattled and enfeebled President Biden to quit the 2024 presidential race. Minnesota Republican Angie Craig also became the first incumbent in a tie race to do so, saying, "I do not believe that the president can effectively campaign and win against Donald Trump." Coupled with reports that Senate Intelligence Committee Chair Mark Warner is point man in a drive to organize Senate Democrats into a united front urging Biden to quit. The political pressure is clearly mounting. However, Biden is also under rapidly rising pressure along the second front, as major Democratic donors are not only telling him to quit, but are closing their checkbooks or creatively using them to pave the way for a new candidate. One of those deeply dissented donors is Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings, who gave more than $20 million to boost Democratic candidates in recent years, including upwards of $1.5 million for Biden's 2020 campaign. Last week, Hastings publicly called for Biden to quit. He reiterated that stance after watching Biden's terrible Friday interview with George Stephanopoulos, telling ABC News. Biden is unfortunately in denial about his mental state. He needs to step aside to let a vigorous Democratic leader beat Trump. Yeah. Oh. I guess, well, is what everybody's saying, but yeah, now the donors are telling, and maybe that's the reality. These donors, they control the politicians, but that's it. My opinion, Netflix is an imperialist platform. They just show Hollywood productions. Then there's Case Capital Management portfolio manager. There's Case Capital Management portfolio manager Whitney Tilson, who told ABC Biden's not in a condition to handle the rigors of the presidency for another 4 years. All of us are standing by to see what happens there, to what happens here. Even the wealthiest people have limitations to money. More bluntly, he took to Twitter to say, Biden's campaign is a ghost, it's over. Rather than simply moving to the sidelines, some mega donors are engaging in creative political financial engineering, such as former Inuit and PayPal CEO Bill Harris, who donated $620,000 to the Biden Victory Fund, in 2020, and told ABC that given his performance in the debate and the Stephanopoulos interview, most observers will see Biden's departure as inevitable. On Friday, Harris announced that his Democrats for the Next Generation PAC was committing to spend $2 million to found a series of debates among prominent candidates to become the Democratic nominee for president if Biden steps aside. Some are referring to the concept as a mini primary. And it's seen by many as a mechanism for ensuring that Kamala Harris isn't taped merely by virtue or of her title. Bill Harris waved off Democrats' unease about potentially messy and divisive process of picking a new candidate. It's not that we have to protect ourselves from chaos and drama, Harris told the Washington Post. We need drama and a little chaos. I think it can be refreshing and energizing. In addition to drama and chaos, there's some major branding confusion in the mix, as another group of deep-pocketed Democrats led by crypto billionaire Mike Novogratz and Hollywood movie maker Andrew Cgtn is launching a nearly identical named next generation PAC. Well, in this is not such a big article, but let's see the time. Let's see. I have just more 2 minutes. I guess that's it. I guess I'm going. This time I don't have. This time I can do yoga, and Tommy cannot be free. This is Robertina. Robertina wants to go home, and that's Tuna. I'm not sure. At least I have Robertina, and I'm not sure if you saw Trufa. Trufa is terrible. She likes human shit, just like you heard, human shit. And here we go to some Delphus something. Looks like Delphus Oracle. Isn't it? The Delphus Oracle. Know yourself. Well, I am an Italian citizen, yeah. I'm glad to be an Italian citizen and not a Chilean. There was an old guy over there. I was doubt he's gay or just poor and abandoned.